Om Shri Sai Ram. Humble prostrations at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Master, Bhagavan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Gita Vahini, Chapter 1. Whom the Gita is for? The objective: remember Dharma, practice Dharma. Introduction to Arjuna and Krishna. Arjuna's despondency, the path of surrender. Summary. To understand the meaning of the Gita, a reverential approach is necessary. You must take up its study in an attitude of submission and expectancy, for the Gita is the milk of the Upanishads, drawn by the cowherd Krishna with the help of Arjuna. The Gita is a text for spiritual practitioners, for it emphasizes spiritual discipline and spiritual attitudes more than anything else. The aspirant must aspire, not despair. He must persevere, not clamor for quick success. The Gita is a boat which takes people across from the self-imposed state of bondage to the freedom that is their very nature. People have come into this field of activity, or karma kshetra, only to engage themselves in activity, not to earn the fruit of such activity. That is the teaching of the Gita, its fundamental lesson. Any individual, however scholarly, cannot escape delusion, and therefore is subjected to grief which acts as a brake upon activity. Arjuna believes that his worldly activities, according to that false identification, are his atmic nature or Atma Dharma. This is the tragedy not only of Arjuna but of all humanity. Therefore, the Gita is of universal and eternal value. It is clear that the objective of the teaching in the Gita is just this: remember Dharma, practice Dharma. The Gita is a textbook of Dharma in all its aspects. It discusses all the principles underlying Dharma. Arjuna is the individual, the jivi. The body is the chariot, and the teacher in the chariot is Krishna, the Lord. The charioteer is the Lord, the inspirer of the intelligence, the Brahman that prompts the intelligence. The entire complex of spiritual discipline is directed to the clarification of the awareness of Atma and the fixing of attention on that. The teaching of Krishna is just this. In fact, this is the sum and substance of the search for truth. Krishna answered many doubts that had entangled Arjuna but that he failed to express. Krishna says, "Joy and grief are as day and night. They have to be put up with, gone through. If you refuse, they won't stop happening. If you desire, they won't start happening. Both are related to the physical, material, the body. They do not affect the spirit or the soul. The moment you escape from these two, you have liberation, moksha." The Gita begins with the yoga of despondency or vishada and ends with the yoga of renunciation or detachment, sannyasa. Despondency is the foundation, renunciation, the superstructure. Despondency is the seed, renunciation, the fruit. Complete surrender to Lord Krishna, freedom from the threefold shackles that bind one with the external world of objects, and observance of good deeds and virtuous disciplines, these are the principal truths underlined in the Gita. The real meaning of the Gita is not grasped by all. Reputed scholars and writers, though gifted with rare intelligence, have failed to unravel the mystery of its message. The highest dharma is for each one to follow their own dharma boldly. Regarding this problem, there is a conflict between religion and morals. Krishna mentioned the type of acts that are worthy. He says, "Fix thy thought on me, be devoted to me, worship me, do homage to me, and thou shalt reach me. The truth do I declare to thee, for thou art dear to me. This is my teaching, my grace. This is the path to come to me. Give up all dharmas, surrender to me. Do not grieve. I shall liberate you from the consequences of all your acts. Here is what the Lord seeks from you. Seeing Him in every being aware of Him every moment of existence, and being immersed in the bliss or ananda of this awareness, dedicating all acts, big and small, to Him, Krishna. Wish, will, attitude, activity, fruit, consequence, dedicating everything from beginning to end. Of course, it is hard to effect this full surrender, but if you make the slightest effort towards it, the Lord Himself will confer the courage to pursue it to the end. To follow dharma is itself a source of joy. It is the path least beset with hurdles. That is the teaching of the Lord. The Lord's command is that each person should pursue the special dharma laid down for them. Each should plan their life according to the spiritual foundations of their culture. Each should give up the objective vision and listen to the voice of God. Acts in line with that dharma alone can confer the strength of spirit that can encounter all crises and achieve victory. The sacred Gita grants that boon by indicating the way very clearly. Key takeaways from this chapter. First, Arjuna represents the earnest yet deluded seeker in all of us, and Krishna is the goal, the word, and the way. The all-encompassing yet ever-compassionate one to cater to the removal of delusion of every individual. Holding steadfastly to the guidance of the higher consciousness, we should boldly stride through the actions in accordance with dharma, without any regard to either joy or sorrow to attain the divine. Second, the sentence on people coming into this field of activity purely to engage in activity and not seek the fruits of their activities is especially poignant. If we listen to the dictates of our mind, we will find ourselves instantly seeking rewards for actions within this life itself, and maneuvering our way to more pleasure and less pain to the greatest extent possible. Yet, the truth, as per the Gita, is to ignore these dual, compulsive dictates of the mind and instead act as per dharma, dedicating all thoughts, actions, and consequences to the Lord Himself. The true rewards will then take care of themselves. Third, once we recognize Krishna, God, as all-pervading in every person, object, and innate in every situation we encounter, the idea of a distinct separateness from God will disappear, and all actions and their consequences will be seen as done by Him and borne by Him alone. This is a state of surrender to the Lord which can result in eventual liberation. Fourth, our earthly identity, the people, the prevailing unique set of circumstances that we are presented with in life are all a part of karmic play created by our past actions and the individual soul or jivi's need for a certain set of experiences. If we unconditionally accept this without the need to compare and contrast its relative merits and demerits with others, it will instantly generate the inner freedom to act dispassionately. Yet, to the best of ability, just enjoying the game as it plays out, knowing that our true identity lies way beyond it. End of chapter 1. Jai Sai Ram.